wanted to understand from you. I would ask you a few questions so that you can just confirm me, is that what is you have been learning in the class? And then I can move forward with asking you some questions, and maybe we can have discussion over it, because I don't want to, come and bombard with you with a lot of information. I want the class to be interactive. So we're going to do it that way only today also. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and you can give your opinions, and you can feel free. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. Your answers don't have to be wrong. You don't have to think that your answers are wrong. You just have to answer me, and we'll discuss about it. Maybe we have to tweak it sometimes, or maybe I have to add some points to your answer. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so now I wanted to ask you first, can you just let me know by looking at the screen, is this what you have been doing in the class? Yeah, this. Just read out the topics: the nature of the economic problem, the factor of production. Is this what you have been doing in the class?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we can move forward, because I had already planned out something on this topic, but I wanted to confirm with you. So
Okay.
when I talk about the first chapter, and that is the basic economic problem, what do you understand by the term problem, economic problem? What comes to your mind in a general way?
Um, it's
It's okay. You can answer anything. You don't have to be hesitant. It doesn't have to be perfect.
the economic problem is the problem based on the alternative goods and services that go against the company's products and goods,
Okay,
and
all right. That is
that play. Well,
Yeah, that is of course a part of it. But when we talk about economic problem, it's a big umbrella, and there are many things. And what you said, the goods and the products demands, that is a part of that economic problem. So basically, economic problem is when a country or a place, it can be a small state, it can be a region, or a whole country itself, is going through a economic the condition where they are not able to have enough money for themselves to sustain the growth of their country. So that's where the economic problem comes. Is that clear?
yeah.
Then what you said, the product and the demand and supply, that comes under the economic problem, because we have these different problems. That's why we have a big economic problem that is going on in that country or that specific region. Now,
Okay.
moving forward, I wanted to ask you few more things. For example, if I talk about finite resources, what do you understand by finite resources?
Finite resources or limited resources.
Limited resources. And when we connect this to the economic situation, how does it connect? What is finite in economic terms? Finite resources are also like water and all these things, but how do we connect it with economy? Economy, finite, how does it connect? If you think about a normal world scenario, what is finite? Finite is something that we don't have access to in an unlimited way. That is, for example, water or maybe food. We don't have it unlimited. We have to make sure that we're not wasting these things. Similarly, if we talk about economics, so what is finite resource in economy? What do you think?
Um, Finite resources are like the resources that the people and that the people in the country need to like
Use.
need to use like as a form of revenue.
Yeah. So as a form of a revenue is generated when they earn money. But what is finite is, for example, if I talk about two, three things, money. Do you think money is finite? We can have abundant of money. Everybody has access to money. Do you think? What do you think? Or certain people have more money, certain people have less money. What do you think? What is the scenario?
Certain people have more than others.
Certain people have more than others, certain people don't have at all. So that is why, because it's a finite resource, not everybody will have it, and also it's not in abundance that you can get as much as you want. So that's first thing in economy. Money is a finite resource. Next, what is the second thing? To earn money, we need to spend our time, right? For example, if I'm a teacher, I need to give some amount of hours in a day to get my salary, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, a doctor or any other professional would spend some time to get their money, or the amount of money that they need to sustain their life. But do you think the time is infinite? If I want to spend like as much as hours, there's only 24 hours in a day, right? So that's like obvious that it's finite. We can't just keep using the time and wasting the time, right?
Yeah.
So money, that makes how many things as a finite things? Can you remind me? I said one thing, that is first.
Water.
Water is something that is in the world. But when we talk about economy, what is that one thing that is less? Like we don't have it finite. That is
Money.
money. And if I want to earn money, I need to spend also what?
Time.
Time. Yes, the time, money, time. These are finite resources that I have to be mindful in spending and using. If I'm using my time, I should be mindful of where I'm spending and how I'm spending. Taking one simple scenario for your reference, it would be easier to understand. Let's say your mama has given you a certain amount of pocket money, okay, and you have two, three things in mind. You want to get a new game, probably you want to go to the movies with your friends, or maybe you want to save that money for a future trip somewhere where you want to go. It's like a dream place for you. So you have three things in mind. One is that you want to buy a new game. Second is that you want to go to the movies, and the third is a future trip. You can just save the money. Now tell me, do you have all the options open you for you? Do you have finite? Is this finite money? You can use it on all three options.
No.
No. And do you have infinite time also? For example, you have enough money, but can you go on the same day to watch the movie, also buy the game, and also save, go for the trip? Do you think these three things happen on the consecutive days?
No.
No, it's not possible. You might try to like force yourself and adjust all these things in a day, but it will not be possible on a routine thing because you can't do all the things daily. So it's again a problem, but you have to decide which thing you want to choose. You can't afford all of them. You have certain amount of pocket money which can be only spent on one thing or two maybe. So you have to think. So that means you have a finite resource, and your resource was your pocket money. And where did you want to spend it on? Maybe you wanted to spend it on a movie or a toy or a game or a future trip. Does that make sense to you now? What is a finite resource?
Yeah.
So in your scenario, the finite resource was
Time.
time or the money that your mama gave you, the
Yeah.
pocket or your papa, anybody. The
Yeah.
pocket money was a finite resource. The time again was also a finite resource, but mainly the finite resource was pocket money. If you had the money, only then you could think of spending the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now next scenario I'm going to give, but I'm not going to give you the answer. You have to tell me the answer, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you have let's assume you work somewhere, you do a job, you have an 8-hour job. All right. Now you have three options again. You need to finish a report that you need to submit it to your manager. Second, you need to attend a meeting. Okay. And third, you need to take some time for a break. Now, what will you choose? You have to finish a report, attend a meeting, or maybe take a break. What do you think you will do according to the priority? Okay. What is more important? What do you think is more important?
Attend the meeting.
Attend the meeting. And then what will you do second, maybe?
I would
Finish
finish
the
up
report.
the project.
And then last you will take the break because that's maybe
Yeah.
least important. You can do it later also, maybe not do it at all. So the first thing you said is attend the meeting because it's important. And why did you choose that first only one thing? Because you have a finite time, you can't do all three things today, so you chose one. That's how you try to understand the finite resources as per the need. So my need was that I need to attend that meeting for my own good, for my own work. So that is, I gave the priority to the meeting and I attended that. All right. Now, let's come to the next thing. So, these are the finite resources that we understood. Now, I want to ask you, what are economic goods and free goods? What is the difference between that?
A free good is a good that doesn't require any money. Like
Okay.
there's nothing to like be to pay for it.
Yeah. So, it's a
It's free
free
for
thing. You don't have to pay anything, it's free of cost. What about economic goods?
economic goods are they're a good or service that benefits the society.
Hmm.
Uh, that that benefits the society and
Benefits the society will come second, but most importantly, wherever the word economy comes, just connect it with money. Economy means money. Anything you need to do it with money is economics. Okay. So economic
yeah,
goods means anything that you need to pay for. Okay. So if you want to eat food, what will you do? You'll have to pay some money to get it, right? So
Yeah.
what do you think? Food is free goods or economic goods?
Economic good.
Hmm. Now, till so far, air. When we talk about air and you need to breathe air, do you have to pay something for breathing air?
No.
So what is it? Free good or economic goods?
It's a free good.
Free. Again, now let me take another example. Clothes. What do you think? Clothes are
An economic good.
correct. Sunlight.
A free good.
Now you have to give me a sentence and explain why sunlight is a free good in your own words.
Sunlight is a free good because it doesn't require payments to see or stay underneath it.
Yeah, I don't need to pay anything. It is available for everybody. It does not have any price. I can just go out and take the sunlight. That's why. Housing. Buying a house or renting a house, what do you think? Is it economic goods or free goods?
It's an economic good.
Correct. And what about the water in the river? I'm specifying water in the river. Hmm. Water in the river
I
is
think
free or economic?
I think that one could be both because
Actually,
there's some rivers where like people are not allowed to like go without access. And then
that's
there's some where people can go if they want to.
I appreciate, Mava, that you thought about this answer and you did not jump to straight away go and give the answer. You're right. In some places, water in the river is available and free to access, so it's a free good. But there are many other places where they want to keep the river clean or they don't allow the public to use it freely. So then it's not a free goods. Does not count in free goods. Now, today in this class, we learnt about two things specifically. That is first, what did we learn about?
Of the economic problem,
Yes, that is the main thing, economic problem. After that, what did we talk about?
finite resources and goods.
Very good. The finite resources. And then we talked about the goods. What kind of goods did we talk about?
Economic goods and free goods.
Okay. And if you have to talk about the finite resources, can you talk about that for me? What do you understand now about, what is your new understanding? You had some understanding previously. Now, what is your understanding about finite resources? You can take a moment to think and then answer. Finite resources.
Finite resources are resources that have a limited amount of use.
Okay. And in economic terms, how would you explain that to anybody? Because it can be anything. In my mind, I might be thinking about water, but does it come under the economic problem? No. So explain it that way. Finite resources are those which are very in a very limited amount, and they are.
They're they're accessible to some people and
I gave you
other
an
people.
example. I gave you an example where you had a pocket money. Now tell me, what is a finite resource? I gave you a problem where you had a pocket money and three choices. So your finite resource was for these three
Money.
money. Yes, money. And the other one, the next example, wherein you had three choices again. You were a worker, and your three choices. Your finite resource was you only had 8 hours. So
Yeah,
what was your finite resource?
time.
Time. So money and time are finite resources in terms of economic problems. Now, coming to the next thing, that is economic goods and the free goods. What can you explain what are economic goods?
Economic goods are the goods that require payment or
That
money.
require payments. For example, always try to give examples that makes the person more confident that yes, this person understands what they're talking about. So, can you give me an example of economic goods?
An example is clothing.
Can you repeat?
Clothes.
Clothes. Yes. What else? One more. Maybe you can try one more.
Another one is housing.
Housing. Perfect. Let's go to the next one now. That is free goods. Can you give me two examples for free goods?
Sunlight and air.
Yes, perfect. So now, if anybody comes and talks to you and asks you about finite resources and economy, can you explain them in your own way? Yes?
Um, uh, yeah.
You should be confident. You can say, yes, I can. You don't have to have the technical things in your mind. If you have real life examples with your concepts connected with your real life examples, that means you understood the concept. Now the only thing is you need to understand the technical words and be able to explain it and elaborate it more. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're done for the class. We the topic is done. Now we can discuss the remaining part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask one more time. Can you say the definition of finance resources one more time?
You want me to explain you the definition of finite resources one more time?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we talk about the definition, you can write the basic economic problem arises because resources like money and time are limited, but human wants and needs are unlimited. Simple. So the basic economic problem arises because resources like money and time are limited, but human wants and needs are unlimited. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.